Alright, we're out here in the garage. We're going to do a little work on the fan. We got this one here. I misspoke on the last video. This is the Lakewood Super Fan with the great blades, not the Windmere. The Windmere's already died, actually, which might be another video. And the project today, the POW, is to get as much of the grease and grime off of the housing and the frame, and then try and get the motor apart. We want to find out what's going on inside here. To get the plug and cord all the way out of the frame so that we can wash the frame easily without having to worry about the cord. So that's the plan for today. Alright, second opportunity to use the giant screwdriver. It's nice to have bought the thing and find more than one use for it. So we're going to try and pull these. It might not be easy for you to see me do it, but this is not a big deal really. See how they move. There you go. There's one. There's two, and there you go. There's the first bracket. Okay, go. Bracket one. Here's bracket two. All right, I'm going to lay this down flat. Might make it easier. Kind of wanting to move on me a little bit. There we go, broke that one free. This has the flat nut side, so I could have used a wrench too on this, but we've got enough leverage on it. There you go, broke it free. Now this one's still going to stay attached to the motor because the wires are still attached, and this has a clip here. You couldn't have seen any of that. Sorry about that, gentlemen. But this one came off, but the wires are clipped to it. Try to pop the clip off. All right, so I got both the little bolts or nuts or whatever you call these off of the housing. Now we're going to flip it over and get a first look at what's underneath that little box there. So I'm flipping him over. And here we go. And as we suspected, there are some caps on these cords. As you can see, they're all capped with little, they seem to be squeezed. I'm not really sure what kind of a thing this is, but I can always cut the cord kind of close and twist them together with a normal type of cap. This seems to be some sort of a automotive type thing, so I'm gonna take some pictures so I know what is what, but it looks like we've got well, we'll have to take a look and see what these do, because it's a 2-speed motor, so all this should make some sort of sense the way the motor is designed. So we're gonna take a look at the wiring and figure it out, so that when we put it all back together, we know what the hell we're doing. All right, so the power cord comes up and splits in two. One side is spliced and goes, the black goes to the switch. The other side is spliced to the yellow coming from the motor, which is the common. So you've got blue and red, which are the speeds, yellow is the common, and black is the power, the main power, or the hot, which goes to the switch. The switch sends the blue and the red to the motor, and the motor sends out this one. Now this is blue, black, and red coming out of the switch. We have then, it is spliced to the red and the green. The red is red and the blue goes to green. Those go into the motor, and then we have the yellow, and the yellow goes back to the power cord here. They're all spliced together. So that's what it looks like we have here. Alright, so we've got the motor free. I cut the wires as close to these caps as I could, and it gives me an idea of what they were going to and all that stuff. So this is ready to go, and there's plenty of room here, I think, to redo everything. If not, we'll live and learn on that. But I couldn't figure, these didn't seem to want to twist off. I just didn't feel like wasting too much time on it. So now we'll be able to get everything out of the case of the motor, wash that thing down, dry it in the sun, make sure it's totally dried out. We'll be able to start pulling the motor apart and do some internal cleaning, clean up the outside of it as best we can. I think a lot of the paint's going to come off of this thing, which is a drag, but what can you do? It's the way they made them. I'm not going to repaint it either. I don't know. We'll see how bad it turns out. But so that's the plan with this. All right, stick around, stick around, stick around. Right, so as you can see, it cleaned up okay. It's still grimy a bit, but I got almost as much of the dirt and gunk off. I didn't use any spray, I just used a cloth and, you know, wiped it down. So it's not perfect, and whatever the metal is on this internal bearing thing, some of the paint came off there and a little bit on the back, not as much. So next will be to pull him apart and see what's going on in there. Alright, last little tidbit. Cleaned all the crap off of the cord, and it looks pretty good. I'll inspect it further. It might be worth just putting a new cord on this thing just to do it. But that looks pretty good. Got the two brackets, which both came pretty clean, and not a lot of that paint came off of there. You know, there's still a little gunk you could scrub on these things. I just used the 4019 and a cloth like this, and they came out pretty good. So there you go. A little box dealie for the next to the motor. This is a little plastic grommet that comes out. Cleaned all that up. Again, didn't lose a lot of paint on this. The plug, which these wires do need to be cleaned up and assessed. You could do new wires all the way up to the switch. We'll see if we need to do that. So we'll take a look at that. And then we've got the motor ready to rock, to take this apart, clean out what's inside, and try and oil whatever reservoir or I'm not sure what to expect when I pull this apart. I didn't get that far with the Westinghouse box fan. This is a little later than that, but you know, and that one's oilable. This is an unoilable. So we'll see what's on the inside there. We'll oil it as best as we can, clean the bearings off of any older oil, like we tried to do. Again, an interesting aspect of this is it has the recess for the hex set screw as opposed to a flat on the shaft. Just an interesting piece of the puzzle. So we're ready to go with that. We're also ready to wash out the tub, this dealie, and start to get this apart. You know, this is rusty, and this paint stuff that was on there was coming off. So I'm hoping to find, at least once this has been washed, that it's so you can handle it without this crap coming off. I might have to spray paint this with something, maybe a silver or maybe a clear, you know, mask all this off with paper and spray it inside and out. I've never really painted anything before, so it'd be an interesting learning process, and maybe this is a good fan to do it on. So we'll see what happens with that, but we've made some progress as far as getting this all disassembled.